our first public budget hearing for the City of Miami Commission. It is our attempt at having the budget hearing on Saturday to be the most responsive government in Miami, Miami-Dade. We want to hear from you, and that's why it's on Saturday, so everyone can show up. We're going to begin, as I begin all of my meetings since I became chair, with prayer. And we have Pastor Anderson from St. Paul AME that's going to honor us with prayer so our meetings can be blessed. Pastor Anderson?
Good morning, everyone. Oh, you could do better than that. Good morning. It's Saturday in South Florida. Good morning. Let us go to God in prayer. Gracious Holy One, we come this morning thanking you, lifting you up and magnifying your name. We thank you for another day to get it right, another day to love on each other, another day to listen to each other. As we enter into this meeting this morning, Lord, give us patience to listen and learn from each other. Give us patience, Lord God, to hear one another through everything. Let us agree to disagree this morning. Let us come together as one for our community. God, I pray over this meeting that you will bless not only our community, our commissioners and leaders in the community. God, I ask you to have your way. We pray. Amen.
Thank you. Commissioner Reyes? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice for all. Everyone may be seated. At this time, we are going to have the statement by the City Attorney's Office.
Thank you, Madam Chair. George Weissong, Deputy City Attorney. This morning, the City of Miami is holding its first budget meeting and the related first budget public hearing for the purposes of fixing the proposed millage rate, adopting a tentative budget, and approving various agency budgets. There will be a final budget meeting and final budget public hearing held on September 28, 2023 at 5:05 p.m. at Miami City Hall, located here at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida 33133. These hearings were set pursuant to resolution number R230319, adopted on July 27, 2023, and in compliance with Chapter 200 and Section 166.241 Florida statutes, and all other applicable codes, rules, and regulations. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with the related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code entitled Lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of the City Code section is available in the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting approval, relief, or other action from the City Commission must disclose before the public hearing any consideration provided or committed directly or on its behalf to anyone for an agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested approval, relief, or other action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided at least 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and the material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chairperson. Public comment will begin approximately now and remain open, and public comment is closed until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Members of the public wishing to address the body may also do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meetings instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to the elected officials and city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials and city administration up until the chairperson closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided live at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, 33133, subject to any and all city rules as may be amended from time to time. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item or items they are speaking on. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. The City has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114, parentheses 4, parentheses C, Florida statutes. The public has been given an opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of an item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. Notwithstanding the foregoing, pursuant to Florida Statute Section 200.065, parentheses 3, and 286.0105, and Florida Administrative Code Rule 12D-17.005, parentheses 2, parentheses C, 22, no verbatim record is required for the appeal of any decision made during public hearings required by Chapter 200, Florida statutes. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you.
And at this time, we will have the city manager to list any items that you may or may not have that needs to be put on the record.
There are no additional items to be placed on the agenda.
For my colleagues, do you have any items? No, right? Not now, not yet.
No, I think we're here to just,
Right. Do we have any pocket items? Just formality, do we have any pocket items?
I don't have any.
I don't have any, okay. The budget director. Our budget director needs to read a statement. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Marie Goen. I'm the Budget Director for the City of Miami. I will do a brief little presentation just to go over the budget. In the current agenda, the proposed millage for the budget is 7.5539, and the rollback rate is 6.6055, and the operating millage is 7.5539, which is 14.36% higher than the state-defined rollback. What a rollback is, it's really the millage that provided the same tax revenues that you received in the prior fiscal year with some allowances taken. The reason that back in July, that's what the commissioner approved, was this millage. But there's a proposed reduction of $5 million in property taxes, which will be an amendment to the agenda item for the millage in the budget. Which means that, and also the budget that you currently have is based on this millage, this millage I'm about to read. It's 7.4843. which the rollback rate, again, as I stated, is still the same, 6.6055, which means that the operating millage of the 7.4843 is 13.30% higher the state-defined rollback, which I had stated what the rollback is, which is really the same taxes that you had received in the prior fiscal year with some allowances. I just want to do some highlights of what is on the current proposed budget that's in front of the commission. The proposed budget is $1,068,000,000. It will generate $102 million more than the prior budget, which is this fiscal year that we're in. And please note that our fiscal year starts in October and ends in September. Where the additional $102 million is allocated in the budget is as follows. $24 million is going for unfunded revenues from the Citizen Independent Transportation Transit, which is CITT, which is with the county. We have surtax dollars that the county is holding based on some technicalities that we are working through with them. At this point, we have to put $24 million in order for us to run the transit, pay debt service on our service street and side roads bond, and some other operating and capital expenditures needed for transit. $27.7 million for capital, labor negotiations, and administration building debt. $22.3 for required salary, positions, and overtime adjustments. $24 million in internal services for insurance, pension costs, and information technologies, and another $4.1 million in other contractual services costs. There's a couple of items that I would like to make sure that we talked about it when we did the briefing with the commission, is to make sure that we know right now there's some needs that's not being met in this budget, which is our fleet, light, and heavy fleet replacement. We do have we need additional dollars to the tune of about $61 million in order for us to accomplish that. And the other thing I also want the commission to know that is we have, based on our assessment fees, we keep our fees flat, but the general fund is also covering the solid waste operations to the tune of $7 million. We kept the rate at $380, but it should be closer to a little bit over $600 per drilling. The Office of Management and Budget we do 4 books on an annual basis. The Budget in Brief is this book, which we also have in both sides of the counters if any citizens would like to take one with them. What it is a summary of the budget document. We have the operating budget book, the revenue manual, and the capital budget. And then you can go to www.miamigov.com/budget/budget. And you can get all those documents online. Do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you.
And at this time, we are going to have the Executive Director of the DDA come up and make a statement for the record. Good morning.
Good morning on a Saturday. Christina Crespi, Executive Director of the Miami Downtown Development Authority. The tentative millage rate and proposed budget for the Miami Downtown Development Authority is .4681 mils, which is 13.31% increase over the rollback rate of .4131. Thank you. Correct, the millage is remaining flat.
Thank you. And at this time, we will entertain public comment. If there's anyone here that would like to speak on behalf of the items for our budget, please line up at each podium. We'd love to hear from you. Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Commission. My name is this working? Maybe now. My name is Alexander Labora. I'm a chemical engineer, an MBA from Morton, and an attorney from a JD from the University of Miami. I'm obviously an avid cyclist and pickleball player. I'm here on behalf of myself and other members of the pickleball community regarding the City of Miami Master Plan, so that you would allow the budget to include the addition of pickleball courts at the Jose Marti Park. So thank you for your time, and I hope you agree to that request. Why do I do it? Because exercise is good for the health of the community, will reduce the cost on medical bills and the expense on drugs for either heart or liver and diabetes. So it will benefit the community at large, not only because it will create a community of people that help each other in the pickleball courts and the community at such, and that's why I believe it is good for you all and the community at large. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Wilford Pierre, administrator at Haitian Emmanuel Baptist Church. We're located at 7321 Northeast 2nd Avenue in the wonderful District 5. Under the leadership of Dr. Wadler Jules, our current pastor, but for 40 years we were under the leadership of the wonderful Reverend Wilner Maxey. We've been in the community for 50 years. Actually, in July, we celebrated our 50-year anniversary. I'm actually here on behalf to voice my support for the 40-50 recertification of the churches. The churches, the buildings, the facilities that we use, we need funding. We need resources to help us to renovate, to modernize, to even have safer spaces, our buildings to be up to code. And so this is why I'm here to voice my support for the 40-50 recertification of the churches. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman and Commissioners. I'm here to request that you include funds in your $1.1 billion capital budget to create sidewalks in my neighborhood in the Pines on Southwest 34th Avenue from Southwest 23rd Street to Southwest 24th Street. I was here 2 years ago with the same request. 2 years later, and nothing's been done. It shocks me that 125 years after our city's founding, that there are still established neighborhoods like mine without sidewalks. On this particular section of Southwest 34th Avenue, there is a nonstop parade of pedestrians walking to and from Coral Way, and we are forced to dodge cars in the middle of the street. This situation is extremely dangerous, and it is only a matter of time before someone is killed in a vehicle-pedestrian car accident. There are also many disabled residents in the neighborhood who don't have an accessible route to the bus stop on Coral Way. An accessible route is a requirement of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Now, although the housing prices are changing our neighborhood, a majority of my neighbors are working-class families who are renters. We have seen more affluent areas receive city attention and funding for roundabouts and other traffic mitigation measures in the interest of safety. The city should not be leaving neighborhoods like mine without sidewalks, the most fundamental safety feature, while it builds roundabouts and speed bumps in neighborhoods that already have sidewalks. There are other areas in the Pines that should also be included on the sidewalk construction list. However, this section of Southwest 34th Avenue has particularly heavy pedestrian and vehicle traffic and is especially dangerous. Thank you.
Thank
Sir,
you.
if I could just have your name for the record?
Bill Collins.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Manista Lee Kinsler. I am from A Leap of Faith Foundation and also One Stop Nonstop Mobile Detail. We are here to serve our community. We thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us. We're here to ask for help for the people that we employ. We employ people day and night for our car wash, pressure washing business, and right now we at Hard Rock, we do fundraising through A Leap of Faith Foundation. We want to do a health initiative. We want to take it to the streets. We're not here, we want to liberate the people, set the captives free, have life and life more abundantly, pay living wages so we don't need no handouts and we can have a hand up. So we're here to make a request in our city budget, and we appreciate you so we can get back to work.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commission. My name is Ruben Young. I serve as the Director of Grants and Development for Curly House Food Bank. I serve also on the leadership of Laverne Spices, 6025 Northwest 6th Court. It's right there in Miami. I'm not going to tell you the things that you probably know about Curly House, but I'm going to tell you what you don't know. Curly House was one of the first food banks in the city of Miami, throughout Miami-Dade County. It's a boots on the ground organization. Everybody that serve are not perfect, but we're consistent. We're consistently doing the work that needs to be done for the people in the community. We serve homeless people. We serve veterans. We serve our seniors. And then we continue to serve this community committedly. We're asking for support so we can continue doing this work. It hurts my heart to see people sleeping on the streets. It hurts my heart when you have mothers can't afford diapers for their children. It hurts my heart to see people eating out of garbage can. See, that's a science to starvation. People are starving. When they're starving, they're trying to survive. And they do the things they have to do to survive. And I think that we're also helping reduce some of the economic crimes within our city. And Ms. Chairwoman, we know the fine work that you are doing, and we want to also continue to do that work shoulder to shoulder. So we're asking the city to continue supporting Curly House and every other essential organization that's out there that's boots on the ground in our city, because we love our city and we love the people in our city, and we'll continue to support this city on the front line. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Camilo Mejia. I'm the Director of Policy and Advocacy at Catalyst Miami. I live at 3482 Furrow Avenue. Commissioner Cole is my commissioner. I'm here to support the HEAT action plan that you have received or will be receiving very soon. In particular, preparing facilities that will serve as schooling centers such as parks, community centers, schools, and then any other building, including increasing the hours of operation and staff at those facilities, because people who don't have the fortune of a lot of green spaces in their communities rely on those facilities to cool down. So that requires that these facilities remain open for longer periods of time. Also, I'm here to request for more funding for community engagement so that we can hear directly from community members to understand how extreme heat is impacting residents. I would like also for more emergency response trainings, heat trainings, and education and awareness campaigns to get people ready for these extreme weather conditions, to understand how to protect themselves, with special attention to outdoor workers who are out there exposed without the proper support from their employers. Also, I would like to support funding for minority business, especially the ones led by Black women, like we just heard, Leap of Faith, those gifted hands, and then also Curly's House. We have worked a lot with them, and they do amazing work in the community. Lastly, please increase funding to address the housing crisis with a special focus on people who are living in the streets, increase funding for rental assistance and eviction diversion programs, and support the home ownership preservation program. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman and your distinguished colleagues. My name is Chaplain Young. I'm a chaplain here in Miami-Dade County, mostly here in the city of Miami. I walk the streets of Miami and I talk to the homeless, the ones who a lot of people walk by that is in the tents, that is living on the streets, that's living in their car, that really needs your help. I'm coming with their voice, their concerns, that I know that you're doing some things with the homeless and the people who are living on the streets, but there's more that needs to be done. I got a master plan to do a plan that needs your help, that needs your assistance, that needs your funding, that's going to help and assist a lot of these men and women that's living on the streets. I don't know if you actually know, but the leading homeless people that are now living on our streets are our seniors. Our senior citizens are some of our #1 people that are showing up in shelters, that's showing up on the streets, that really needs your help, that needs your assistance. We know that you are working hard to doing things in this area concerning homelessness in your county. But I want to keep in mind that most of the homeless people live in Miami. They're living on the streets of Miami. It'd be very good that Miami stand up and do more. You're doing some, but it needs to do more. My name is Stanley Young, Freedom Prison and Jail Ministry. I have a master plan. Call me, and let's talk, and let's fund my budget. My budget is very aggressive for this year coming up because I'm really going to just go all out this year. It's a $5 million budget. It may be more than what you have to offer, but whatever you can offer to actually get this going, I gladly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I have the pleasure this morning, Chairwoman, of representing the St. John Institutional Missionary Baptist Church, located at 1328 Northwest 3rd Avenue in Overtown. We had the pleasure of being incorporated in 1906, 10 years after our wonderful city's founding. Like many other churches, we do a number of ministries. I heard our brother over here, jail ministry, the food ministry, the clothing ministry. We build affordable housing in our community and provide necessary spiritual and mental care. I rise this morning to stand in support of the 40, 50-year certifications needed. As I mentioned, our church provides a number of these ministries, but churches all over Miami, whether it's in Liberty City, Overtown, Coconut Grove, or any of our other wonderful neighborhoods, provide these necessary ministries, and that would not be possible without these certifications. So I ask that be passed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chair, if I could have the speaker's name for the record.
Minister Troy Adam Duffy, St. John Institutional Missionary Baptist Church. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chalma. My name is Clara Mae Jenkins, and I work with the CRA House. And I get up 5 o'clock in the morning to go to CRA House. The senior citizen be waiting on me because plenty of them don't have food. They sleeping on the street. So I'm asking you, will y'all please help CRA House? We need more food so we could pass out. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Elaine Black from the Liberty City Trust, 4800 Northwest 12th Avenue. We are here to support the Liberty City Trust's budget for 2023-24. Our board has met and has developed a master plan that is inclusive of many of the items that have been discussed here, but our focus is 9 areas: commercial development, youth development, senior programming, housing, hurricane recovery, and resilience. And we have been involved with this area for many years, ensuring that we do have a resilience location in the Liberty City community. And at this point in time, that is the Hadley Park, and we look forward to that being a point of distribution as we move forward. Our marketing and outreach to our community, supporting public safety within our community, and ensuring that we have an adequate swimming program that is encouraging our young people to learn how to swim. Today, many of our young people are not swimming, and as a result of that, we are seeing deaths in our community. And legacy. We do not want to leave out legacy. Legacy is something that we're always involved with to ensure that the individuals who lived in Liberty City and the greater Miami area are recognized and their history is known. Overall, Curley's House, 40-year certification of churches, these and other areas are so important for the continued growth of our community. Thank you so very much, Chairwoman King, for all of that you do for our community.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman. My name is Felicia Douglas, and I represent Curley's House Food of Styles, and I am the Senior Program Director. And I just want to say that it's very, we have a lot of passion, and we're very dedicated dealing with our seniors in our community, and having that we do spend time with all of our seniors, not just seniors, but disabled veterans, homeless, less unfortunate families. And again, we're not just a food bank. We do provide them and these families with diapers, baby clothing, baby formula. We do also provide hot meals on the go for our homeless population as well, clothing, hygiene items. And when we do go to these senior buildings in this city of Miami, we do basically spend time with them. We just don't go and drop the food off. And they just basically depend on Curly's House because they trust us. They have that trust in us. And when we're coming with bulks of food, fresh fruits and vegetables, not just a hard whole chicken that they just want to eat. We basically bring them steak, shrimp. We even have crab legs for them, lamb chops. So this is basically the reason why we are here today, having that. We've been in this community for over 23 years, fighting and fighting over and over to basically get the help that we need so we can be able to expand our senior program and be able to do what we need to do for this community. Thank you, and thank you again for all the hard work that you're doing, and we would like your continued support, Chairwoman. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Albert Gomez, 3566 Vista Court. Just going to go down the line here on the line items. The BH5 MPA, something close to the city manager's heart. There's a chance here to there's a lot of money, federal money right now for solar canopies and solar arrays on parking structures. We can get matching funds from the federal government, and that will help develop charging stations with Blink and different people like that are local people, local companies. And BH6, the Coconut Grove Bid, personal situation. I went to the Junkanoo Festival. Myself, I had heat stroke. So did my dog. I had to take him to the veterinarian. It was so hot. There is no serious tree cover down. The Bahamas, I met with the Prime Minister. He was so proud that Little Bahamas was formed. He wants to bring Junkanoo at scale from the Bahamas here. I'd hate for them to have heat stroke next year. Let's get some large trees down and fund that within the bid. BH19, solid waste assessment. I ask for whatever new funding is realized by the assessment to go to maintenance of stormwater systems, focused to increase the street sweeping and catchment cleaning, something that Commissioner Reyes has really fought for. And to that point, something we're talking about homelessness and anything, there's a huge job opportunity within the SBA to get funding to support matching funds for blue-green jobs. What Manolo Reyes did with his neighborhood beautification team, what Commissioner Koval did with the Echo Squads, we can finance this and get a whole troop of people that need jobs to help clean our streets and help solve our flooding problems. It's something so easy for us to do, and we have matching funds from the federal government. I'm going to be meeting with the SBA officer, the regional officer on Monday. I would love to share information with all the commissioners on what grants are available. And then if I can say one last point, BH20, the annual plan review, that's the point. That's the moment that we can also work on coastal parks. There's tons of money for coastal park renovation. 80 homes were lost in my neighborhood, and they had to be cleared out after Irma. I don't want it to happen again. We have a hurricane very close to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maria Donaldson. I also work with Curly's House. I also assist a lot of the homeless people that come to us. The majority of them are women with children, a lot of seniors. We also have some that come and assist us so that everybody can be aware that there is a problem. But maybe you should focus in on these homeless people. They're on waiting lists for Section 8 and low-income housing. I myself waited 22 years to get some kind of assistance to be able to qualify for one of these low-income housing. It's very sad to see a lot of older people with their little carts. They can barely walk, 20 bags, and they come to us, like Ms. Jenkins said, at 4 in the morning just to get a ticket so they can get a bag or two of food. Please, it's very, very important that you look into these low-income housing lists, and if you could facilitate some of these seniors, we would really appreciate it. And I'd like to thank our Ms. Laverne Spicer for organizing this facility. Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner King and all other officials. My name is the Reverend Bobby Knowles from the Church of the Incarnation on 54th Street. And this is Bill Anderson. And we represent our church in terms of we definitely applaud you for the initiative that you're sending forward. And we would like to be a part of that. And so we're here to talk a little bit about our church. I'm going to let Bill talk about it.
Good morning, Chair and members of the Commission. Again, as she said, my name is Bill Anderson, and I've attended the Church of the Incarnation for over 60 years, and in previous times, I've been both senior warden and junior warden. So I bring to you some history of what we as our church see as important as our mission in the community, and that's to evolve. But one of the things that we realize we have to do is maintain a positive, healthy facility. And in order to do that, we have to meet the certifications of the 40, 50 years. And in order for us to maintain those, we're going to need additional revenue. So we are supporting that, just as many other churches from within District 5 will stand up before you today and support this issue amongst you and your members today and the Commission. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman King and Commissioners and the Mayor. I am Laverne Spicer, founder of Curly's House. We've been in business over 23 years. We are very, very passionate about our community and about them seniors. Them seniors have worked all of their life. They're not bums. They have worked all of their life. When they started working, the cost of living was very low. So therefore, their retirement checks are very small. They cannot, so a lot of them get $5 in food stamps. They cannot afford to buy the food out of the grocery store. If you don't have a personal relationship with them, they're not going to tell you their business and what's going on in their homes. We have that relationship with them. Not only do we feed in the streets, we go to the senior buildings to take them food, clothing, walkers, wheelchairs, personal care items, wherever we have, we take it to their buildings and make sure they get the help that they need. Not only that, we have a lot of homeless young women in our district all over, staying in cars with their kids. Some of them come to our place, have 9 and 10 kids. We give them that are 27 years old with 9 and 10 kids. We give them diapers, food for them clothes. And a lot of times they come to our warehouse, bring their kids that don't even have shoes on their feet. So that's why it's so important that you fund Curly's House, because we take care of them people. We do not give them one frozen hard chicken and a bunch of rotten vegetables. We give them fresh vegetables, no outdated food, like Felicia said, steaks, pork chops, lamb, turkey, no rotten hard chicken and vegetables. We feed our seniors with a lot of fresh vegetables. As much as they want, they know they could come there. They know when they need help, regardless of what it is, they could come talk to us about it. Thank you very much. We are asking you all to continue funding us. And you too, Mayor, thank you for your help, because we cannot do our organization of helping people without your help. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you, commissioners, for being here. Chairwoman King, really want to emphasize a big thanks for making this on a Saturday, making it much more accessible for everybody. Huge deal. I think that's a little detail that goes a long way. My name's Silvio Pupo. If you have not heard of me, I'd love to connect with you and introduce myself. Born and raised in Miami. I'm from Alapata. I live in 1291 Northwest 37th Street. I've been an ambassador for the city of Miami, appointed to the last Commissioner Russell, given my experience studying in the US, in Asia, in Europe, doing business in Latin America, which has now turned into the Council for Global Competitive Business in the city of Miami. To this point, I'm also very active in the community. I've trained with the fire department, getting my civilian emergency response training. I've trained with the police department at the Civilians Police Academy. I'm a vendor to Miami-Dade College. I'm on the board of UM. I'm a fellow at FIU. All of this to impress upon you my awareness with the issues of our community. And to this effect, I'd like to think about systemic and systematic solutions and how to allow us to create evidence-based policies that can help us save money and make money to solve some of these resilience and community engagement issues. To that effect, I have 3 things that I'd like to comment on. Number 1 is digitization. I want to propose a special committee and task force that focuses on digitization of the city services, and accessibility of understanding and intelligence of how to see that. For example, using things like augmented reality to bring docket information out into the real world, placed in a way that actual residents can visualize what we're talking about. Zoning proposals, new building proposals, tree proposals, where's the heat canopy, where's the nearest emergency center. These are all things we can play and we can display using augmented reality. That's one of my goals with a new a game called Climago. Number 2 is leveraging the citizen science. Okay. See, leveraging the citizen science, I'll finish this, to use, to gather the information in the community, like trees and tree canopy, to create a digital twin of the tree canopy in Miami, just like Cornell did in New York, that allows us to know not just what million trees to plant, but the type of trees to plant, the native and endangered species to plant, where to plant those trees, and how that can help us with carbon credits and other financial benefits that we can unlock as a result of it. Thank you so much for this. I'd love to find out who's interested and how I can support and get this done with your support. Again, I'd love to just plant some trees in my neighborhood and engage the rest of the community to be involved. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mayor, in the absence of the mayor, clerks, and everybody. My name is Sharon Frazier, and I am concerned about the seniors. I am what they call a professional volunteer. Been lobbying Tallahassee for 30 years and concerned about seniors, our children, and our veterans. I'd like to tell you a story about a place called Liberty Square. Liberty Square, the community say we would never be able to have we call it the Concerned Citizens Advisory Committee. I'm the chairwoman of that in Liberty Square. At Liberty Square Housing Development in the Liberty Square Residential Center, and thank you guys for helping support Liberty Square, we have also a program. The young lady behind me, Miss Sophia Howard, she runs a program that serves seniors. And yes, I piggyback off what Miss Laverne Spicer said about the seniors. My mom, an 86-year-old senior, lived in Liberty Square Housing. My mom passed away July 21st. Thanks to Miss Howard, I didn't have the funding to buy the supplies to clean my mom's apartment, because the same way I found that apartment, the same way I wanted to leave it. I have a cleaning business. I have those gifted hands cleaning services. I'm not a non-for-profit, I am a for-profit business. And the money, the taxes I had to send the IRS, it's like I walked away maybe with $500. I want to be able to push my business where I can be able to contribute to the Curly House, contribute to Divine Empowerment, because my passion is the seniors, the children, and the veterans. My dad was a 3-war veteran. My mom now is buried at Lake Worth Cemetery, National Cemetery, because my dad was a 3-war veteran. And I thank y'all, but please, Madam Chair, Liberty Square is our heart, that's our jewel. That's where my mom resided when she passed away. And I want to continue for those seniors to get what they need. Thank you, and y'all be blessed.
Thank you. Good morning.
Great morning, everyone. If I may ask if everybody could get off their phone, because you will want to listen to this story. Great morning, Commissioner Christine King. Before I begin with the issues that we have here, I really want to thank you for the beautification that you did on MLK Boulevard. So I'm proposing that we have a competition where we get all the MLK Boulevards across the United States, and we can show that we are the best and we have the most beautiful ones. So I want to thank you for that. So my actual address is 46 Northwest 60th Terrace, Miami, Florida. I'm from Liberty City, I'm from Little Haiti. However, I live in 1128 South 8th Street, San Jose, California. Now you're probably asking, why is that? Well, I've emailed many commissioners, I've emailed the mayor, and I told him, hey, I need this office space because I'm doing research. I'm doing research on vitamin D and cancer. I'm doing research on vitamin D and malaria. And I'm a student that was first gen. I had a homeless verification waiver, and I still made it. However, when I was on the wait list for several prestigious universities, nobody answered me. So you know what I had to do? I had to go get a gap year and take a 7-day Greyhound all the way to the Bay Area. And once again, like always, not paying attention to the things that I would like to speak about. And that's something that always happens. And the reason I'm here is because of our youth. When I went to the Homeless Trust meeting yesterday at 3:45, they told me the two main jobs that individuals had was in general labor and hospitality. And I thought to myself, why not STEM? And I understand nobody cares about it, but guess what? I'm gonna make a way. I'm gonna make a way to help out our students in Little Haiti and Liberty City. Because guess what? I know that I could be a smart student, that I could attend Stanford, Harvard, all these schools, but guess what I am? But we have other students now being on social media thinking things are cool, things are straight. It's not straight, bro. And that's why I'm here today to tell you guys this. Because the thing is, I understand I'm not relaying my message the best way, but guess what? That's because I'm from the hood. But this thing right here is very special because it's taken me many places. And I thank you for that time, and I would love to have a meeting with you guys and show my work. Thank you.
Chair, if I could just name speaker's name for the record.
Gerben Seraphin, GERBENNSERAPHIN, and you guys can also check your emails because I've sent you many emails at gxs721@miami.edu. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairman, and all. I thank God for being here, and I thank God for the opportunity to be before you. My name is Sophia Howard, and I'm coming on behalf of Divine Empowerment Resource Center. I run the senior program over at Liberty Square Community Center. I am very passionate about the seniors, and I've worked with them for over 3 years, but in January, I started with at Liberty Square, and I came prepared using my own funding, providing everything that is needed to run the programs, the different programs that I run: food pantry, arts and crafts, Empower Today, Divine Workout. And there is little help that I'm not getting the support, but I didn't know this type of resource was available. So I'm learning the ropes. And as I sit here, I am overwhelmed and so thankful for the opportunity to be before you. I would love to share more about what I do and how the vision that I have for the seniors. Because since I've been with them, working with them, I met them one way, but now their lives is so much more enriched because of the program and the support that I provide for them. I spend time with them, understanding, point them. I've partnered with other agencies in order that I find the resource that they need, because it's like they've been pushed to the side, overlooked, but they are there waiting just for someone to show them that they care. So by me doing that, I point them to the right resources so they don't have to feel their way around all this information. And the services that I provide, it causes them, allows them to be better and more empowered and want to get out and do more things. So I'm asking for help and assistance to allow them that opportunity to explore and be empowered and independent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Mark Crutch. I'm the pastor of Greater Bethel AME Church, 245 Northwest 8th Street. We've been in the Overtown community for 127 years. Thankful to be there and continue to work in the community, providing services for folk throughout the community. When the city was signing the charter, the founder of our church stood with the city in support of that. And we're still in support of the effort the city is doing into the community. And we stand today to support the community, the city, and helping churches in the community be able to, with the 40-year certification, bringing the churches up the code and the things that are needed. We stand in support of that. We thank you for that kind of support and the thoughtfulness for helping institutions that are helping people build their lives throughout the community. And we look to continue working in the Overtown community and beyond to help folk build their lives to where they need to be. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissions, for what you're doing. God bless.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Frank, a graduate student at Dartmouth College. Earlier, you heard my co-founder, Gervin Saffron, speak a little bit more. He's currently from Stanford. I just want to address this message to Joe Corallo. Thank you so much for doing so much activities, events in our community. I am a national dancer for Peru, and thank you so much for bringing diversity, for bringing in investments for the community. So I really want to appreciate you in front of everyone. And just addressing to all the commissioners as well, it's very important that we continue to invest in STEM programs, especially helping youth, right? So right now we're lacking in education, especially in Miami-Dade County. And I really want everyone to be involved of investing in the youth. You know, I was homeless at a young age. Now I currently go to an Ivy League school. I was selected as a Miami Foundation Fellow for scholarships. There's so much more intelligent individuals like me that can go to top schools, that can invest in them back in our community. Only 10 were selected out of 350,000 students who are qualified for scholarships. You know, I really will appreciate if you can just address more in scholarship funding, STEM funding, and just a great example, excuse me, a great example is Joe Corallo, just invest in our community as well to bring diversity, to bring the community together, make everyone feel involved and create unity. And additionally, I just want to leave this question for all of you guys. What, in terms of investments from the city, the state, et cetera, that's coming in our community, just please, please, please fund scholarships for high school, undergraduate, graduate students to continue to further their education to get back to the city of Miami. And I just want to leave here today just letting you know, since I won that scholarship from the city of Miami, I am the youngest entrepreneur in the market, where I take individuals from all across the globe to do medical research with me, and they've been in top medical programs. But I know so much more youth that can also help the community and build the ranking for Miami-Dade County schools to go up. So let's just please, please, please invest in our education system and also invest in the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Pastor Robert Jackson from the St. Paul AME Church. I'm also the Vice President of the African American Council of Christian Clergy. I'm standing today in support of the 40, 50-year certification, particularly as it relates to churches and ministries. I pastor the St. Paul AME Church located at 1866 Northwest 51st Terrace in Miami. Our church has the distinction of being one of the only churches that have served in both the Overtown area, and then in the 50s we moved to Liberty City, 109 years old. As you know, churches have been the bedrock of our community for so many years, and as the churches have been established, the facilities have begun to be, the facilities have sort of diminished. One of the things that is very important is the upkeep of the buildings and facilities to continue to do ministry. I'm asking that the commission please consider putting more resources in the 40, 50-year certification as it relates to churches and ministries in the Overtown and Liberty City area. As you know, we offer many ministries, as you've heard from many of the pastors and ministry leaders who've already come. But again, we do need your support, and we ask that you support, again, putting more resources into the 40-year, 50-year certification for churches and ministries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone, to the commissioners and the board. Good morning to you, Mr. Corolla, and good morning to you, Mr. Reyes. My problem, well, it's not my problem. I actually came back to Dade County because it was a serious problem. Some of the clients that I used to work for actually lost their home and taxes. Doing so, I knew it was a serious problem that was going on here in Dade County. A few years ago, before my brother passed, my brother actually was homeless. I didn't know how the homeless people lived or anything. So I took it upon myself and to say, I want to see just how the homeless live. So I took to the streets looking for my brother, and I stayed on the streets for 3 days. That's a whole different world than the military. The things and the condition that those people live under are horrible. I'm laying there, and for a whole day I didn't sleep. I laid up against a wall, roaches running all over me. Rats is actually running in and out of these people's food that they have to eat. Seeing this, and I'm saying that It's people there that can actually solve this problem. Why are they not solving it? Is it their concern, or they don't want to make it their concern? But it is a serious concern. And when you find veterans, that people actually fought for the country, so we all can stand up here and come up here and wear nice clothes and do all of this and say all these wonderful, great things to people. That's not right. So if we can come up with a plan to get the homeless people off the street, really we need them off the street. Not only the veterans, but everyone. And it's a way that we can do that. It's a way that we can do that. We just have to refocus and redirect the things that we're doing. And with that, I appreciate all the things that Mr. Corolla have done for the community and Mr. Reyes has done for the community, because without these guys and without you, Mr. King, I don't think the city would be where it's at. And again, thank you all.
Thank you.
Chair, if I could speak his name for the record, sir? Just your name for the record.
Marion Kenneth Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Vivian Perkins. I guess everyone see the odds that we're weighing. Some are up, some are down. But the people I represent says it would be a good idea if all the commissioners would work together for the good of every district, especially District 5. Please continue. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to watch everyone get along. You never know who you need in this world. It's just great if we could just do that. We say that we are the representatives of the community, but I love to say first, every time I stand here, we are from a repressed community. How we get it solved would be just knowing and understanding that you don't know everybody's story. How you can solve some of it, ask me. I've been researching and I have a lot of good ideas of how we can make Miami and make Miamians happy. I mean, it's a deplorable thing to watch the suffering. It's a horrible thing that it can't be solved. And I'm one that think things need to be solved. We all agree of seeing a clean and beautiful city. Northwest 62nd and Martin Luther King, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful holiday improvements. Yes, it's beautiful. It warmed hearts just to drive through and see all the beautiful lights. For once, that was a pleasure for our community. The Neighborhood Association, in partnership with the Liberty City Trust, the leadership from Mrs. Elaine Black, the CEO, teaching our youth and young adults toward job incentives, toward mentoring programs. That's what we need. We need so very much. We need to start one at a time, but we have to be united. We have to work together. Commissioners, I give you a challenge. Clean it up. Let's work together. Clean it up. You hear the outcry. Let's do just what we have to do. Seniors are excited to be in a part of District 5. The journal information that we receive monthly is to be awarded because it's personal and it helps us know what we need to do. Thank you for that. Say what you want. Our Heavenly Father is someone that we need to teach us right from wrong. Our Heavenly Father helps us support religious communities, and it's vital that we do. Each and every person here deserves the help that they're asking for. In order to get that done, I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for making a solution that we can all use. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Gene Safrant, 130 Northeast 62nd Street, speaking on behalf of Father Reggie, Notre Dame de Haiti, and the Pierre Toussaint Leadership and Learning Center. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity. In addition to reiterating what many pastors and ministry leaders have said earlier today, supporting the certification, the 40/50 certification of the churches. I want to thank this commission for the support they continue to give to the city of Miami, in particular District 5. I'm only asking to continue to make available the resources that would continue to make organizations like the Pierre Toussaint Leadership and Learning Center a more thriving institution, to be able to offer free services to the citizens of Little Haiti, as we've been doing for the past 40 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Kerry Johnson, 29 Northwest 52nd Street. I'd like to thank Commissioner Christine King and the rest of the commissioners for the support that they've given to the Liberty City Trust. You've done a great job this year in having the youth off the street, less shootings, less crime, less things that's being done in the neighborhoods. Also, it's giving the youth an idea of opportunity on how to work and how to do things and how to make their lives better. And I see that it's doing a great thing for the city of Miami in keeping these youths doing things for the summer. I would like you to keep supporting the Liberty City Trust so that that can continue to happen, because it's making a great change and it's making the city of Miami a lot better. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Madam Chair, members of the Commission, Mr. Manager, and Madam City Attorney. Thank you for the record. Ron Book, Chairman, Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust, 4000 Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, Florida. Thank you. You trusted us last year, and you found resources to leverage with a large chunk of change from Miami-Dade County. We managed to cobble together $43 million. We did what we told you we were going to do. We were going to go out and we were going to acquire hopefully 4 vertical buildings. We don't have time to build housing. We don't have the financial resources to build housing. But our goal was to go out and buy buildings, repurpose them, and turn them into housing for formerly homeless individuals. We closed on a building in North Miami where we have 120 senior citizens living. We are in the process of renovating to add some additional capacity. That is in North Miami. Commissioners, 80% of the individuals that are residing there are off the streets of the city of Miami. 100% of those individuals are senior citizens. As we represented to you last year, if we did not find the resources to acquire that building, 120 elderly people would be put out on the streets. We had no place in any shelters for those individuals. That building is completely full at capacity. We bought out the deed restriction on the property off of Chrome that we discussed with you last year. We paid $6.5 million to the federal government to buy out the deed restriction. We are in the process. We've closed on that. We've set aside $7 million to renovate that. We will be creating a total of 190 single unit occupancy units for male population only off of Chrome. The contracts are in the process of being let. We expect to move people in there within the next 11 months. We are closing on a property in Cutler Bay. Again, another building that we are repurposing. We're under contract. Closing is already set and in place. We had a meeting down there yesterday to finalize all the details to get to closing. We are closing on a building within the next 30 days in Doral, in Western Doral. Get the picture? I came here, I said to you, trust us. We are going to acquire buildings outside of the city of Miami. We are not adding people. We are taking people off the streets and moving them into housing, permanent housing. Some of it is intended to be shorter-term housing till folks can transition into more permanent, long-term, stable housing. We have identified a 5th building that we believe we are going to be able to stretch the balance of last year's resources to buy. It is an 8-unit building. It is currently being used for homeless housing. We intend to close on that within the next 90 days. I am back to beg. Look around America. Everybody in America, every continuum in America is coming to Miami to look at what we're doing because what we're doing is right. If you look around America, all of a sudden, when we started buying vertical buildings, they started buying vertical buildings. In Los Angeles, I went out, I saw the superintendent of schools out there. Some of you are familiar with that guy. He has begged us to come out there, move our staff out there, where they have 79,000 unsheltered individuals on their streets tonight, and they are building affordable housing for formerly homeless people at the tune of $800,000 a unit. We don't have those resources. If I had 10% of the $17 billion that Gavin Newsom has thrown at the cities out there over the next 24 months, I could finish what we're doing. Background for 2 seconds. I have not been back here in a bit. As you know, I'm doing some things that I got to get into order for myself. Miami Beach voted to put the expansion of the penny on the ballot in November of 24. We're working with Surfside and Bal Harbor to do the same thing. But if I don't continue to buy buildings, here's what we realized 3 years ago. We didn't have housing because there is no housing in our community. Ask the people out here. We realized that if we didn't own it, we couldn't get people out of the shelters. They're right. This young lady just signed up with me this morning. Vicky's working with her right now. Got it out of your hearing here. We know we've got problems. Our facilities are full. So if I can't move people into permanent housing out of the shelters, if I can't take people off the streets and move them into housing immediately, we will continue to go backwards. The goal is, I beg you, find me $7 million, Mr. Manager, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Let me continue to do what I committed to do, buy vertical buildings and take people off the streets of the city of Miami and move them out of the city of Miami where they will be residing permanently. And I would be remiss if I did not close with looking straight at Madam Chair through you to Commissioner Carollo. We continue to work with the management staff on your 50-unit tiny home development. We have actually determined that we have a second piece of property potentially. The manager, his staff, Donnie, have all been with us out to the property off of Chrome. They've been with us to look at a tiny home development in Tallahassee. But we've identified another piece of property down south off of the Homestead Air Force Base that may also be available, Commissioner, but want you to know that in keeping with my commitment to you, to Commissioner Reyes, and to this entire commission, last year, we continue to advance the tiny home project. Your city still has on reserve the monies necessary to develop that property. So thank you, Madam Chair, for being so indulgent with the time.
Ron, before you go, I'm glad you brought up the tiny homes and you haven't forgotten about it.
No, sir. You wouldn't let me ever forget anything.
We've known each other since, what, I was 18?
When you were 18, sir.
And we're
You don't have to remind the audience of the rest of it.
I won't. Ron lost an election to me. I'll leave it at that. In college.
It's called dicta. Don't listen.
But the 50 homes was going to be a pilot program.
Yes, sir.
We can build those anywhere from 30 to 60 days, giving myself a lot of time. The amount that we could build them for is much less than anything you could buy, and they're going to be as sturdy and probably even more so than anything that's constructed, because I'm going to give the city to be able to build them with something that I had invented years back. And when I ran again in November 17, I thought that I was going to be able to do that part-time in Latin America, and boy, stupid me. I barely have time to go to the restroom for myself now. So I want to be able to revisit that. And if there's any problem with any other people that's outside of your control, like I was told, I'll be happy to meet with them. I'll bring some of the associations from that area Actually, that area don't have any because it's old wilderness. The closest one to it, so that we could alleviate any fears. But that area was ideal because we had the power lines within no more than 1,000 feet away or so, if I remember. Even if I'm wrong, it'd be 1,500 feet, so it's right by there. And the sewer lines were a couple hundred feet. And it was next to yours, the one that you just spoke about, so this would have been ideal. And we had enough room there to expand to a lot more than 50.
The property down, if I could, Madam Chair, through you, the property down south may end up being, it won't matter to us, Commissioner, which of the two properties that you and the manager and your staff ultimately settle on. The trust is committed that after evaluating your 50-unit pilot, it is our plan to potentially build 50 or 100 in addition. And again, the infrastructure closeness may be better at the Homestead property than the Chrome property, but it matters not to us. We're committed to the city, we're committed to provide that property to you, and we remain committed to it.
To me, if you have another property that is not in the city of Miami,
imagine that.
It don't matter whether it's Chrome or that one. That one I hadn't heard about, not until today. But we always have the option, as you know, of Virginia Key, but some other fine folks that are about 5 miles away, I guess they found it to be just too close for them. And that's the whole problem. But I don't believe the city of Miami should keep bearing. This is why I want to spread it out, and I'm glad you're doing that. The city of Miami should not take the burden of 70, 80% or more of all the homeless. Because yes, while we do have some homeless that are local, you have a tremendous sizable population of homeless people that come from other states, other parts. Some are seasonal. Some came seasonal, but they like how much they're welcome that they want to stay. And, you add up and figure it out. It's impossible for us to keep bringing people and people and people to take care of while we're not taking care of our own from down here. It's impossible. And for me, as I stated before, the people that have to take priority are those that are here. We're running into a situation now that I'm sick to my stomach in seeing what's happening, that because property values have gone up, the property appraiser is raising property taxes extremely high. Now, we got a system that's schizophrenic, that you could have the same property next to each other, exactly the same amount of square foot of land, exactly the same house with the same amount of square foot, but one is paying maybe 100% more, 150% more in taxes than the other, because it's just crazy the way that it's been done. And when you have retired senior citizens, like I've heard a lot talk here to help them, they're limited in their income once they retire. And instead of us giving them the peace of mind that they could live out in peace and tranquility with their grandkids, with their families, the rest of their years, we're putting this huge amount of stress where many are having no choice but to sell their American dream, the home that they bought, because they can't afford to pay the taxes anymore. And now they're faced with a second barrel to that shotgun, this insurance. The insurance costs, because of everything we know, it's as high now as a regular mortgage in some cases. In some others, that's a second mortgage. So people that have owned their homes for years are being pushed out because of the high taxes. And this is why in this budget, we got to find more ways of alleviating whatever we can from the city of Miami. I thank you for how you're trying to work with us. As you know, it's quite important that when our PD or homeless trust people that work with you call, that we have beds available, because that's the only way that we could help people. But we also have to face the reality that we have a tremendous amount of people that don't want to be helped. They don't want to go into any kind of shelter for two reasons. They can't buy drugs there. They can't use drugs there. And that's the group that we have the biggest challenge with. Individuals that have been a casualty in the war we're facing today, that we have mainland China that's sending by the tons every kind of pill that you could think of to kill our people. They're sending it through Mexico. They're using the cartels to bring them here. And, you know, after a short while, in some cases, some longer, depending on what they're taking, you know, people's brain is just burned out. They're not functional anymore. And, you know, it's the reason you see California the way that it is. You see so many, and frankly, all of our large cities in particular, but this is a problem now that's across America, not just large cities, mid-cities, small cities, and we could only do so much in individual cities. This is a nationwide problem that has to be addressed.
I've listened to all five of you tell me we've got all of the facilities located in the city of Miami. Don't bring us any more. We're not.
Well, and I thank you for that, because
One second.
it's not right.
One second. Commissioner Kovo?
Mr. Book, I wanted, first of all, to thank you for your work and to give you an idea that was brought to me by a constituent and that could probably help you leverage more buildings. Commissioner Carollo was mentioning the mental health situation. If we could work closer with medical students and medical graduates and nurses to create in these buildings mini clinics or clinics specifically to make sure that they can get treated first or for psychological reasons, and then of course create referrals to go back if they needed to a psychiatrist. Because sometimes they get a house, right? They get a bed, but they're not gonna go all the way to Jackson, or they're not gonna go all the way to finding a psychiatrist. So if that assistant could be in the building, we would be creating jobs and we would be helping the mental health situation.
Madam Chair, through you. That's a great idea. Ms. Millette, our executive director, who is anything and everything 24 hours a day, almost will coordinate a meeting with you and your staff for this week. Understand that when we move folks in, they have a case manager. Case manager's job is to remind them over and over and over and over and over and over and over about where they can get those mental health, substance abuse, alcohol, and other primary care related services. But I like the idea. I saw that recently on a Chicago PD episode where they moved one of the mental health people into one of the Section 8 projects to do exactly that. So it's
Exactly.
a great idea.
So they don't have
thank
to go
you.
anywhere, they have it right there. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have some others that
But I just
are
wanna-
still left for public comment. Would you like to?
Yes, I just want to ask you a question. Are you working with Judge Leithman?
Madam Chair, through you. Yeah, Judge Leifman is my finance chair at the
Yes.
trust, and we work hand in hand.
How far is he from opening up his establishment? Because I think it's going to
End of
make
year.
a great difference.
Soon.
End of year.
End of the year.
Soon. I do expect it by no later than mid-December. He's
And-
close.
And Mr. Carrillo, we are not getting only addicts from fentanyl or whatever, all those pills that come from China. We are getting also, and particularly among youth, that as an old teacher, I had been informed by many teachers and principals. We're getting some of our youth that they have been hooked. Right now, they are addict to vaping because they have some chemicals in what they are vaping that I don't know if they can do it or if we can control it, that has them addicted. And some of the students, they are becoming sort of zombies. And they are potential homeless if we don't take action and regulate those stores and prohibit them from sell some mixtures that are quite addictive. And also, believe it or not, grass is addictive too. You see, marijuana is addictive too. So I think that we should go deeper than the Chinese attack on us and see what's going on in our schools right now. In our school, what is going on with our children in our schools? That they are failing, they are not doing their homework, they lost interest because of what it is so accessible to them as those smoke shops that are selling those vapes that are addictive.
We share your concern, and we will continue to work with Project Upstart and the superintendent who serves on our board as well to do as much as we can. I know exactly what you're talking about, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Book. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Pat Santangelo. I'm a resident of the city of Miami, but my address is protected because I'm law enforcement. I'm here to speak in favor of the Little Haiti Trust. I'm the co-founder and board member of the Little Haiti FC, which is a youth soccer program. Although Little Haiti Trust cannot really directly help a sport program, the children in my program are the children of the families that you're all talking about. We frequently visit Curly's house to get food for the children in our families. Most of our children are living with guardians or they're homeless. So it started with the Miami Edison High School kids 9 years ago. Why? Because the kids were not graduating high school. It's now evolved to boys and girls. We have 200 children from 5 years old to young adult at Little Haiti Park. For the past 9 years, 100% of the kids in this program graduated high school, including all the kids at Edison. And 80% went to college. The last 2 years, 100% of the high school kids in the Little Haiti FC are attending college. Now, how is that related to the Little Haiti Trust? Where these people are living need the services of the Little Haiti Trust. And I'm hoping, I know Little Haiti Trust has had its struggles over the past years, but I think they're ready to focus in if they can keep the families of these children in their homes and prevent them from getting pushed out of the neighborhood, that would directly help the children in our program. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chairwoman and commissioners and all of the city officials. My name is Samuel Lattimore. I live at 937 Northwest 55 Street, Miami. Family has been there since 1959 or 60. I'm now residing in the house. Former retired police major, police academy director, detention superintendent for juveniles, investigator for child abuse situations, and a faculty member for Miami-Dade College and FIU. In 1980, the social worker organization, Miami Association of Black Social Workers, drafted a 150-letter campaign that we sent around the country. We sent it to city officials, county officials, state officials, and also federal officials. Out of the 150 responses during that time, we only got one back from Senator Lawton Childs. And our concern at that time was that we saw issues, because of our background as social workers, that was potentially dangerous. And we were just trying to let the city officials and this county official know that they need to keep an eye on this tendering, burning, situation. Approximately 5 months later, we had the worst riot in the city of Miami, and we have never recurred. I've spent some time working with the City of Miami Police Department, working with them on their response team. I had a chance to walk down the city with them as a part of that team, where we trying to get people to not respond. My point is that the issues that you're hearing is not issues that you should not be listening to. There are 3 more riots, and I have them after that. Because at some point, the line gets a little tight. And as we said from we heard from the homeless people, they're absolutely correct. I asked the question, how many people of color are participating with the advocacy for homeless, not giving them food, but who are out there on the street working with those folk. We do it with Charles Hadley Neighborhood Association. I want to just say that please listen to the issues that are affecting this community. Because as it has happened in the past, the 4 or 5 riots, major riots, and I lived in Liberty City, I was out there, and I saw the burning buildings and the businesses being destroyed. I would have hoped that they would have responded to the letter, but one senator sent us some help from the federal government. The issues that you're hearing are very serious issues, and we're on that tender box right now. I say it because I've had experience, business, I've been out there, I've been in all the facets of it. The last thing I want to say is the person with the homeless situation, was that Ron Book? If that was, right, I've been hearing about him for years, but I didn't know, Ron, that the problem was as bad until I began to get calls from young women who had children who had no place to stay. And I wanted to compliment you on that, because it's real, ladies and gentlemen, it's real. The young lady, Haitian lady, elderly lady that was shot and killed on 28th Ave Street, I had been visiting that lady for the last 3 years. She would not come off the street. I had a Baker accident. She went back there. I was concerned that nobody who spoke her language interjected themselves. The situation is very hard. I have pictures of her. But I want to say this, it's very encouraging to hear what I've heard today, because it is a sound to march. We cannot solve all the problems, but we can do something. Last thing I want to say is the Liberty City Trust. I have had occasion to work with the Liberty City Trust through the Charles Hadley Neighborhood Association, one of the oldest associations. Our oldest member and founder will be 100 in October. And she provides some direction. She makes us look after the Haitians. She makes us look after people in school, not from the office, but she tells us to get out there, and we were doing, and she sends her blessing, Miss Nancy Dawkins. The last thing I want to say is that the Liberty City Trust has done an awesome job. As you've heard from my background, I've had occasion to deal with all of this stuff. I spent a lot of time on Biscayne Boulevard, especially in front of Dunkin' Donuts, where you have the 70-year-old lady who sleeps up under the umbrella during all kind of weather. And I ride by there to check on her. But the Liberty City Trust, working in conjunction with the Charles Hadley Neighborhood Association, attempts to address those issues. Not only the homeless, not only the hungry, not only the shelterless, that's what they call it. And finally, I want to say that you have done a great job. I want to commend District 5 staff for the cleanup. One of the things that affects children in their minds is the way their community looks. And if their community looks like we have allowed it to get, then they will develop attitudes that are antisocial in nature. And so I just want to say to you that your support of the Liberty City Trust keeps us, we're in the 70s and 80s and 90s and 100s, going, because they're looking after children, seniors, housing. They hit the entire gamut. Last thing is, please don't give out any money until those organizations have come before the citizens of those areas and explain the problem. We have a lot of people coming in begging for money, but the people who are supposed to be impacted don't know that it exists. I would just suggest to you that those organizations have an obligation to come over to Charles Hadley Park, go over to Liberty Square, say, we want to do this, not come down here and beg for money and we don't know what you're going to do. And so I would just say to you all, demand that anybody coming to you must bring some kind of records about what they want to do and impacting our community. Thank you very much. You all have a great weekend.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the Commission. My name is Ringo Caillard, 110 Northeast 62nd Street, in Miami. Think about it. Every city and every community has their problems. I've been here for 48 years in Miami, and in the proposed budget, first of all, let me say thank you for having the meeting on Saturdays. That means a lot to the community, especially to me and even for you. So you could sleep early, don't have to go home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So my community, which is a needed community, not for anybody's fault, surely not the city of Miami. We have problems back home, major problems. And we don't know. We're hoping for God to change that. And I know every one of you knows what's going on in Haiti. Every one of you somehow knows some Haitians and understand what's going on. You have 2 or 3 items on the agenda which are the church money that you're proposing. Little Haiti is definitely in needs for the money for the church. Because whenever there is a problem, we Haitians, just like any other ethnic group, we go first to the church. And the meager resources that they have to dish it out, leaving their coffer empty. So think seriously and helping us with the Pierre Toussaint request for improving the work that they're doing. And second, Miami became a mega for culture. The whole world is talking about like Miami now. It's not like 20, 30 years ago. I see you have some money for cultural events coming up, and I strongly hope that we will have the opportunity to make it happen. You know, the festival, the carnival, and also our own culture, the Haitian Heritage Month, which make us believe that we are still somebody, because it's not easy to know that all hell is breaking on you and there is nothing you could do about it. So thank you again for making sure that we understand that we are somebody. And Commissioner Manolo Reyes, think about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chair, we have been friends for how many years? Over 40 years?
40-something years,
Yeah. When
we
we both were skinny, you had more hair. And now you're fat, I'm fat. But we always been very good friends.
That was before Joe went to high school.
That was before Joe went to high school at Miami High and played football there.
Thank you. Come on. I've broken all my rules today, over 2 minutes.
I'm so. I just was reminded.
Talking about football, I'm sorry. I have to make an announcement. We have to leave here by 3 because the Canes are playing at 3:30.
It depends on you guys. It depends on you guys. You were going to say?
I just want to say, I love this Joe Corolla. I love this one. I was just reminded by Laverne Spite. I forgot to say this. Curly House We need a bigger building. We need the city help as a nonprofit. We certainly need help. Please, 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 please help us expand with another building. Thank you very much.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, Chair, the speaker's name? Sir, if you just give your name again? Your name for the record?
I'm sorry, Reuben Young with Curly House Food Bank. Thank you.
And at this time, I'm going to close the public comment period. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so passionate in what you do for our community. We have heard you. At this time now, we are going to take up the items on our agenda. Are there any items that my colleagues would like to pull to discuss?
Come again? What?
Or do you have any, because I'm going to block it. So can I have a motion for BH 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11?
That's a lot of money.
Oh, no.
So you don't want to block it?
This
Madam
is too
Chair?
early
You
for
can't do that.
something
You
fast.
can't do that.
I don't, I'm not sure we could do block voting. Just give me one little second.
I'm not sure we can do block voting.
You
One
can't,
second.
no, not in these.
Are you sure?
Not on these.
Yeah.
Irrespective of the football game, we cannot do block voting on these stuff.
Well, I'm trying to help. I'm not a football fan. I can be here till like,
But we are, and Commissioner Carollo,
This
Commissioner
is a
Carollo,
very important game.
who's
Commissioner,
playing?
UM against
and
Texas.
Texas A&M.
ATM.
Madam Chair?
Okay.
And I have ribs, Commissioner Carollo. I have Flanagan ribs to watch a game in my office, so it's even more enticing for you. Game and ribs.
Madam City Attorney?
Like I need to gain more weight. Look, some of these we could defer to the next meeting.
No.
No? None of them?
No, there's no deferrals. Thank you for indulging me 30 seconds on this.
Take your time.
I believe BH 3 and BH 21 need to be done separately. So each one separate and then
BH
maybe
3? I have
and
21. 18, 21, and now you're saying 3?
Okay.
Why?
They need to be done separate.
They need to be done separately.
Why is our city attorney saying no deferrals? Why?
Because we have to have 2 readings and
I
we
know.
can't defer them.
Well, we can have special meetings. That doesn't really matter, right? At the end of the day.
There?
No special meeting, no special meeting.
No. Well, no.
Special meeting to a special meeting.
A special meeting for a
So
special
if
meeting.
you'd like to return, if you'd like, the ones that have to do with millage and budget for the main items, those cannot. If
I know,
there
but the
are
other ones we can.
if there are some one reading ones, those we could maybe defer, but you would need to give me a few minutes to pick out which ones.
Which makes more sense.
We also have to wait for BH 14 and BH 17. BH 14 is the Midtown CRA. They need to have a meeting first.
Right.
Pass their budget and then bring it to the commission, so that's one.
Yeah.
And the
17.
same one for BH 17, which is the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust. They need to have a meeting first, and then we can address their budget.
And then we have the Omni CRA also.
Yeah.
We have to have our meeting first,
Madam-
so that's
Madam
why.
City Attorney.
So those meetings happen today?
Yes.
Madam Chair?
On those CRA budgets, do we have to
on
have the
here.
meeting today and approve the budget at first reading, or can that be done the next meeting?
Right. We would have to amend the budget, but I don't know that you have any meetings set today for those CRAs.
But we can
There
do a
is
next meeting.
Midtown CRA today, maybe.
Next meeting, we can approve the budget. We have the meeting next, and then we can approve the budget, or they can have, and I think that the DDA, CRA, and all of those, we can have a meeting, and we can discuss our budget, and and approve our budget, and then bring it up. Oh, I mean, if there's any changes, every single budget is up for change, can be changed.
Well, for the DDA, they made their statement, so we can go ahead
That's
and
right.
do what we need to do with that. There's nothing else that's pending for the DDA. We can
No,
vote
we-
on that today, because
Let's
the
vote it.
statement was,
It is flat.
right.
And that was my main question, and Christina cleared it as well.
Yeah, I know that.
Right.
Okay.
So how about we go through the ones you don't want to hear, and then we figure out which ones we must? Can we do that then?
Or the other way around, right? Just the ones we have to pass today.
Let's pass the one that we can
Yeah,
pass.
let's
today.
pass it, and then we defer everything else. Right?
Okay.
That's easier.
Okay.
Let's pass what we should or we need to,
Look,
and then
We
let's.
need to address BH1.
that.
Do I have a
service-
motion for BH1?
Move it.
Chair, so BH1 and BH2 have already been taken care of. Those were simply discussion items.
Those are
Oh,
discussion.
only discuss, so we've already done that.
Yeah.
So,
What-
okay.
What have we done?
So BH3,
Discussion
BH1 and BH2 were only discussion
BH3,
items.
I moved BH3.
I second. All in favor?
Oh, hold on.
DDA, that's fine.
That's fine.
DDA.
That's a downtown development.
Yes.
And do we have a presentation from them, or have they?
Yes, I
We
did.
did, we did.
Other than the briefing?
Uh-huh.
Okay, other than the briefing that I had?
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
there was.
fine.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
BH3 passes unanimously. Downtown Development Authority, BHH. I'm sorry, BH4.
First, move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BH5,
BH5.
I move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. BH6.
Move.
I move.
Second,
All in
No.
favor?
Aye.
Commissioner Coburn moved it.
move it. Commissioner Carvalho, second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. BH7. Wait,
Move.
I believe
wait,
BH7
we have
This one
to.
had the meeting, or?
needs an amendment.
Todd?
Yes, BH7 is to be amended on the floor.
Is anybody going to read the amendment in, or are we just going to?
Members of the commission, I don't have, I'm not going to read it all, but just to give you some background, it's an amendment basically regarding our extension. So it's just basically stating that once we finalize all the steps,
Extension, yes.
it comes live.
Yes.
So, Thank you
Okay.
so much.
I have a motion.
Second.
Move. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes. BH8,
Um,
GESE
Move.
Retirement
Second.
Fund. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. BH9.
move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. BH10.
Move.
Move. Second. We're all competing for moving and seconding today.
All in favor?
Aye. So are you sure you're getting the right mover and seconder?
He's getting
Okay.
it. See, we are motivated. There's a football game.
Who's on first, who's on second, Ted?
BH11.
Who was on third, right?
BH11.
Move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, rocking and rolling. BH12.
I move it.
Hold on. What is the budget on this one?
It's the same as last year. There's a difference where for the youth employment program, we gave them extra money, but they didn't get the money, so they're putting
Is
that.
that different than another one here for
Yes,
half a
yes, yes,
million?
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
all right,
uh-huh.
okay.
Well, that one is a mistake too.
Move it.
All right, move.
All in
Okay.
favor?
Sorry, it was moved by Commissioner Kovo, seconded by,
Diaz de la Portilla. How about that?
Okay. Bayfront Park Management Trust.
and my apologies, just for the record, that was unanimous for
Yes.
BH12.
Everything has been unanimous so far. BH13, I have a
Move.
mover and a
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. We have to skip BH14, BH15.
Whoa.
Whoa.
¿Qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó?
Mr.
¿Qué
Manager,
pasó?
I'll try to be brief. How much money do we have in here?
In that CRA Midtown you're talking about?
No.
No, it's the Miami Arts
BH15.
and Entertainment
Miami
Council.
Arts and Entertainment Council.
Yeah.
What item is that?
BH15.
BH
15.
Oh. We'll get it for you.
We can defer
Is
this.
there, can we defer this until next meeting, or?
We can.
I would like to know how much we have here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to know how much we have here.
So I have a motion to defer it.
I'll move it.
From you, yes, a motion to defer from you, Todd. Give us all the information and
the use?
the makeup of the board, how the money has been used, how the projects get approved. I don't know any of that. I want to see how much money is there, how it's being spent, what process we have to follow. Because I'm sure that all 5 districts have good art projects.
Yep.
I don't know what the entertainment component is here, but we certainly have a lot of entertainment in Little Havana, and I think every one of my colleagues can vouch for that. We have entertainment at New Year's that the city and Bayfront Park Trust contributes a lot to for the whole city. And the 4th of July, we have entertainment in some of our areas. So we need to look at all this and get a better feel for it to know how we could go about it in an organized, transparent way.
So I have a motion and a second to defer.
Defer, yes.
I have the motion, Commissioner Diaz-Bartia, seconded by?
Aye.
To defer to the September 28th budget hearing, second budget hearing.
All in favor?
Aye. Are we doing BH 14 deferral too or not?
No. They're going to have a meeting. We have to recess so they can have a meeting to pass their budget, and then we can take it up.
But we don't have to take it up today, right? Because that was kind of the original question, and I thought we were going to have a conversation about what can be deferred or not. We're going through a lot of millions of dollars here. Like, for example, the point that Commissioner Carollo brings up, the $49 million plus for the Arts and Entertainment Council.
How much?
No, it's 49,000.
I'm sorry, 49,000, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Please,
I
don't
misspoke.
make it worse.
No, I misspoke, I'm sorry. But whatever the amount is, right, I'm sorry, I misspoke.
He wants to get me going.
Yeah. I want to get them going, which is not hard to do by Skinny. But anyway, the idea of allocating these thousands of dollars without having a closer scrutiny and taking a look at it, that's my only concern. I understand, we have all studied and we've all been briefed and everything else, but I agree with Commissioner Carollo. There's some things that need to be discussed. And why not give it more time if nothing is lost in the process?
We've taken up the things that we have to take up, so we can defer.
Right.
Like BH 16. Can I have a motion and a second?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We can't take up BH 17 because they have to have a meeting first to pass
Right.
the budget. Okay. And,
Is that going to be deferred?
It has.
well, they want to have the meeting while we have all of us. It's going to be a quick meeting to just pass the
Okay.
budget.
Okay. I got it.
Okay. Okay.
I got it. That's
So,
fine with me.
BH 18
Move.
must be read, it has to be read into the record. Correct? Okay, the title must be read into the record.
Find a fast reader, please.
BH 18, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission modifying the number of attorneys in the Office of the City Attorney's Office with funding if needed to be approved by separate resolution containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date.
Move.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. BH 19,
Move.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
BH 20,
Move.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. BH 21, the title must be
Let-
read into the record.
Yeah, I will move it, but let me be very, very, very
Tentative.
clear.
Tentative is a.
It's
is a word.
tentative because I
Yes.
intend to meet with the manager. I suggest each one of us will do that also.
That's right.
So that we could see how much we could bring the millage down.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's it. That's why
But is there
the word
but
tentative.
But do we have a reduction? Do we have a reduction in that in this proposal? I believe we do.
There's a
right?
reduction in this
So that's why it's important. Let's be clear. There's a reduction already.
Yes, but we are, I myself, we are analyzing if it is the possibility of
reduce it more?
increasing.
A further reduction.
Further reduction.
Yeah.
But we're
And-
voting-
And we can get some
Right.
funds for to the residents, to the taxpayers, homeowners. So the word tentative is very important.
So we
Yes.
have to read the title into the record, and
Absolutely.
for the record, we're voting as is today. And
As
then
is
we
today,
can make
but
changes
it might change.
in the next
That's
time
the
it
word
comes up.
tentative.
Right, so let's let the city attorney read the title into the record.
So, Madam Chair, the only clarification I have to get, I'm reading this into the record, but I don't know if we have to amend anything on the record right now.
Say
That's
it on the
record.
record, please.
We need to put on the record that it's amended to the reduced millage that was what was in
Okay.
the presentation.
Yes,
So put that on the record.
it has to be reduced to the 7.4843. 7.4843.
7.4843.
So this item is as amended.
As
As amended.
To reduce the millage to
7.4843.
7.4843. Do I have Vicky read it?
So now I'm going to read the title, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission related to taxation, defining and designating the territorial limits for the city of Miami, levying an ad valorem tax on all real and personal property in the city at a total tentative rate of 7.4843 mils on the dollar at the taxable value of such property for the purposes of funding the general operating budget and payment of debt service for fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30, 2024, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date as amended.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the last one is BH 22. Approve the
Again.
tentative budget.
Tentative.
With capital T.
Yeah, that's right.
Capital E.
All caps. All
yeah.
caps.
Thank you.
It's mandated.
May I have a motion?
Right, so, Madam
Move it.
Chair,
I'll move
Gotta
it.
be
I'll
ready.
second it.
BH 22 has to be adopted as amended.
As amended.
As amended. I'll second it.
Okay, tentatively,
Tentative.
Yes.
with all capital letters.
Yes, all caps.
Mr. Manager, I'll make this brief. And I'm not saying this to be combative in any way, but no one from staff until the meeting just last week, right before this meeting, when you had the whole budget done, no one from staff met with me, with my chief of staff, or anyone in my office during any time to go over the possibilities that we were looking at in the budget, or to see where some of our priorities were in our own district. There were some fundings that were put for certain items in my district that I'm very appreciative, but no one asked us if those were our priorities or not. So I would just appreciate that from now on, that before the next budget, when we do the amended budget, sometime in mid next year, or midway between this fiscal year's budget, that staff meets with us to go over that. Secondly, I'm going to want in every meeting that we have from now on, the list of all the parks. My district is the district with the least amount of parks in the whole city of Miami. And I'm kind of getting shocked that even for a small pocket park, it just takes years to get done. I don't know what the problem is in our city, but it takes years, and then it comes back 2-3 times more costly than I think the private sector could do a lot of it. So I want all the parks that I'm working on in my district, I want a part in the budget that will be update on Parks District 3 so that publicly, transparently, we know what's going on. I'm going to give you one small reason for this. Since I got elected not re-elected, since I got elected in November of 17. We have one park, a small park in my district, that the sign is up that is going to be redone. And here we are, getting close to 6 years later, and nothing whatsoever has been done. And I'm petrified with some of the bigger parks that we have, like Ruben Darío, there's going to be 6 acres or more, that this is going to be years. I'm concerned with another park that is in my Silver Bluff area, but certainly Commissioner Reyes' Silver Bluff side is going to use it also, that the timetables that I'm being given are not going to be kept again. And then I could go into all the other smaller parks, and another potential big one that we're waiting for next year so that we could finalize it. So if we could do that, and I say this respectfully, if we could put that in every agenda meeting so that at least my residents could know where we're heading with. I don't want to keep telling people something, and I'm looking like I'm giving them stories for years. And frankly, I'm doing this also because if we don't see any headways or we're moving with the way that the city is structured, public works like this, particularly with parks, so that my colleagues can see what we're going through. And if need be, in fast track it, we let the public sector come in and build them.
Madam Chair, we voted everything?
I wanna
Commissioner
add
Kova
to-
wanted to say something. We just have 22 left, and then we're going to go into the meetings that we have to have
Okay,
real
after
quick.
that, I also want to make a statement.
Commissioner Carollo, I just, and I would like to invite all of the commissioners, and I'm going to put this on the record, and Mr. Manager already knows. You just need to walk around our marina and go in the morning to Regatta Park. District 2 parks are in desperate need of help. So what I've been doing is that I've been asking Parks and Recreation for specific dates, like it happened with the bathroom at John F. Kennedy Park, that it was under construction and closed for over 8 years. So we are going and experimenting a lot of painting, maintaining our parks. I get emails and lists of constituents coming into my office every Wednesday. That's why in the heat plan that I proposed to the administration that, Mr. Manager, you promised that you were going to have ready soon for us, in that plan, I was trying to include every type of heat mitigation that we can get for our parks. If you're a parent, you cannot go to a park in the city of Miami 12 midday, in most of them, because there's no shade. And so I think that we need to reinvent the wheel, reimagine our parks, and make sure that we can use them. Because if we cannot even do a picnic because the grass is messed up, because we have events and events and events on top of our grass, we're not using our taxpayer dollars correctly. If we have an event, we mess up the grass, and then after that, it takes us 4 months to reseed the grass, how are we spending our dollars? I mean, it doesn't make sense. So I've been like super active trying to get this done. And I know, and I call them every day, but it's been hard. I think that we need to find a way to navigate it a little bit better.
I think you're absolutely correct. And one thing that was brought up here, I forgot which of the speakers brought it up, but I offer this to you. The speaker is bringing up planting more trees for shade along Grand Avenue in your district.
We have a plan, and we're getting donations, and we're also finding the trees. I did have a meeting with Mr. Manager about that. So Gumbay Festival is going to, next year, hopefully have shade. And with the right trees, that's the other thing, because if we plant a tree and then the tree is messed up 6 months after, we need to replant it and we spend more money.
Right, but the point that I'm trying to make to you is that what I've been seeing is the trees that we buy, they're 6, 8 foot, 10 foot, and we pay for them like if they were a 25, 30-foot tree. So, look at the trees, the type of trees you might want. I would suggest that we start putting trees that have, pretty flowers, besides the canopy. So at least we have canopy with, different types of the season.
We do
have
have an
flowers.
arborist.
Yeah, and, if you like, let Bayfront Park know, the executive director, because, they have a whole list of all kinds of nurseries that have big trees, 25, 30 foot. There's not going to take, you having to finish your 2 terms and then have to come back for another term somehow to see them give shade. If you buy them that big, within a short time, they're going to be giving shade. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. We need to buy big trees to give shade quickly. We can't afford to be waiting 10 years for the trees to get big to give shade.
Please bring some color. Bring some trees that they flower. Bring some color. Everything is green. Green, green, green. I mean, sometimes I wonder if our arborists and people that plant the trees, they're colorblind. Because you go into every single circle and it is green. Everything is green.
Well,
and whatever, I don't care where you go, what country you go. You see, you're driving on the road and you see, you can admire the flowers. You see, and I see. I mean, I'm going to talk about Marbella, for example. You drive from Malaga to Marbella, and that beautiful highway full of flowers. I mean, it's a coastal city.
Yes.
So,
We have beautiful flowers in Liberty City.
Did you get to Puerto Banús then from Marbella?
yes, I did. Not like the guy that wanted to get a hold of a Dinaki Marine, and he came to my office and says, I want to make a Puerto Banús right here. And then I asked him, have you been to Puerto Banús? He said, no, I have. You cannot duplicate Puerto Banús here. What are you talking about?
Guys,
That's
do
right.
you want to make a vote?
Let's go
It'll be
back.
much, much better.
Yes, because we got to entertain 2 meetings, and I know you got.
That's right.
So I have a motion
And
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
BH 22.
Aye.
As amended.
As
That's amended.
Okay.
Tentatively.
Tentative.
Tentative with all capital letters.
That's right.
At this time, our first budget hearing for September 9th, 2023, City of Miami Commission is now concluded.
Nope, Chair, it's in recess.
It's in recess.
It's in recess.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. It's in recess because we have to have the 2 meetings. So we are going to now have the Virginia Key Beach Trust meeting.
Madam Chair, before
just
we
give us
go
a
into that, I want to remind
Okay.
Mr. Manager and Larry, Mr. Spring, we have to continue our conversation about what we have been talking about the millage and the use of funds that as efficiently as we have to. We can, okay? I expect to be working with you very closely.
At this time, we're going to begin. We're going to begin the Virginia Key Beach Trust. Right there. I don't think he's coming back. Yeah, after, we're going to do the Midtown as well, so we can get both of them and then just get it out of the way. Siéntate. Okay, are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Today's meeting is to pass the budget for fiscal year 2023-24, correct?
Correct.
Are there any statements that need to be read into the record? Madam City Attorney?
Just the resolutions.
Go ahead.
So the first one is a resolution of the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust with attachments approving and adopting the 2022 annual report, directing the executive director to transmit a copy of the report to the City of Miami. The second item is the budget resolution, a resolution of the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust with attachments approving and adopting the trust's general operating budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024, attached as Exhibit A, further directing that the executive director transmit a copy of the budget to the City of Miami.
Okay. Neil, do you have a statement that you need to read? Or do you need to say anything?
No.
Okay. Senores, so the Virginia Key Beach budget has rolled back to $300,000 from the city. We're doing a lot of efficiencies. We're going to have our first public meeting on site regarding the museum in October. And I am going to hire a special projects administrator in my office to oversee the work that is being done. But we are making efficiencies and the like, so I would ask for you to approve the budget for fiscal year 2023-24 as presented. All in favor?
Commissioner, we'd also like to have the meeting
annual
minutes, the annual report, and also the meeting minutes for the last meeting we had in January.
Okay. I have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the annual report and the meeting minutes have been approved. Thank you all. And, oh, wait. Let me open it up for public comment. Anybody wishes to speak on behalf of the budget for Virginia Key Beach Trust? Seeing none, public comment period is closed. Thank you all. That meeting has been concluded, and now we will have the Midtown CRA meeting so that we can pass that budget.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Carollo.
One second, wait a minute, wait. She has to flip the tape. It's the Midtown CRA.
Give me
You ready? Okay. Who chairs the Midtown CRA?
Commissioner Carollo?
Commissioner Covo?
No, I need to get it back. For now, it's Commissioner Carollo. Yeah,
I'm only
it was
doing
Russell.
this, until we could have another meeting and we could name Commissioner Cobo chair.
I moved that.
Unfortunately, we can't.
Oh, we can
this
do that
meeting.
today.
We're limited to what we have, otherwise I would have done it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And special meetings like this, we could only deal with what was advertised, nothing more. Okay. Go ahead.
yes. I will be presenting the budget item on behalf of the director. Unfortunately, something unexpected, something happened with his son, and that's why he's not here today.
Well, we hope the son will be fine.
Okay, the item, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Midtown Community Redevelopment Agency with attachment accepting and approving 2024 proposed budget of the Midtown Community Redevelopment Agency in the amount of $13,438,326 for fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024.
Okay. Is there any questions?
You know, I have one question
Go
about the
ahead.
money that they owe the city. Miguel?
the understanding that I have is that by the end of fiscal year 2023, the city of Miami is going to be receiving an amount of $12 million, roughly. That journal entry will be taking place before the fiscal year end.
Okay. So do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, could you open it up for public comment, please?
Yeah, we have to open it up to public comments before. Yeah, and, okay, hearing no one that wants to speak, the public sector part is not closed. Is there a motion that's for two, is for the approving the Midtown Community Redevelopment Agency regular September 13th, 2022 meeting, and the resolution for the Board Commissioners of the Midtown Community Redevelopment Agency with attachments accepting and approving the 2024 proposed budget of the Midtown Community Redevelopment Agency attached and incorporated as Exhibit A in the amount of $13,436,326 for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2024, respectively, directing the Executive Director to transmit a copy of each budget to the City of Miami and Miami-Dade County. It's moved by Commissioner Reyes, second by Chair King. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It passes unanimously. Hearing no further new business, this meeting is now adjourned.
You need to flip the tape back? Okay, wait, we got to pass these two items from our budget hearing.
Chair, we're good to go.
I am resuming the September 9th, 2023 first budget hearing for the City of Miami. At this time, I will take up BH 14 for the Midtown CRA budget. Do I have a motion?
Move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. BH 17 for the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust annual budget. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all for attending the first budget hearing for fiscal year 2023-24. City of Miami Commission has now concluded.